From the moment we met, George was asking questions, and I felt he was genuinely interested in Indian music and religion. He appeared to be a sweet, straightforward young man. I said I had been told that he used the sitar, although I had not heard the song Norwegian Wood. He seemed quite embarrassed, and it transpired that he had only a few sittings with an Indian chap who was in London, a student of the late Mataram, my disciple in Delhi, to see how the instrument should be held and to learn the basics of playing. Norwegian Wood was supposedly causing so much brouhaha, but when I eventually heard the song, I thought it was a strange sound that had been produced on the sitar. As a result, though, young fans of the Beatles everywhere had become fascinated by the instrument. Then George expressed his desire to learn the sitar from me. I told him that to play sitar is like learning Western classical music on the violin or the cello. It's not merely a matter of learning how to hold the instrument and play a few strokes and chords, after which, with sufficient talent, you can prosper on your own, as is common with the guitar in Western pop music. I told him this nicely, getting him to understand the seriousness of Indian music. I said, I have given so many years of my life to the sitar, and by God's grace I have become very well known. But still I know in my heart of hearts that I have a long way to go. There's no end to it. It's not only the technical mastery of the sitar. You have to learn the whole complex system of music properly and get deeply into it. Moreover, it's not just fixed pieces that you play, there are improvisations. And those improvisations are not just letting yourself go, as in jazz. You have to adhere to the discipline of the ragas and the talas without any notation in front of you. Being an oral tradition, it takes many more years. And there is more to it than exciting the senses of the listeners with virtuosity and loud crash-bang effects. My goal has always been to take the audience along with me, deep inside, as in meditation, to feel the sweet pain of trying to reach out for the supreme, to bring tears to the eyes, and to feel totally peaceful and cleansed. Then I asked him if he could give time and total energy to work hard on it. He said he would do his best, and we arranged a date then and there. It was not practical for him to come to my hotel, so he invited me to visit his house in Esher soon afterwards. I went twice within a week or so. Initially, I gave him some basic instruction, how to hold the sitar properly, the correct fingering for both the hands, and some exercises. I wrote down the names of all the notes in the sargam, the Indian solfeggio, to make him familiar with them. That was all. We fixed it that he would come to India for a couple of months to learn more in depth. I felt strongly that there was a beautiful soul in him and recognized one quality which I have always valued enormously and which is considered the principal one in our culture, humility. Considering that he was so famous, part of the most popular group in the world ever, he was nevertheless quite humble, with a childlike quality which he has retained to this day. And Harrison writes, Ravi was very friendly and easy to communicate with. By this time, the Beatles had met so many people, prime ministers, celebrities, royalty, but I got to a point where I thought I'd like to meet somebody who could really impress me. And that was when I met Ravi. He was the first person who impressed me in a way that was beyond just being a famous celebrity. Ravi was my link into the Vedic world. Ravi plugged me into the whole of reality. I mean, when I met Elvis impressed me when I was a kid, and impressed me when I met him because of the buzz of meeting Elvis. But you couldn't later on go round to him and say, Elvis, what's happening in the universe? Ravi came to my house in Esher, and then he'd arranged that we should sit in the afternoon for an hour or two, and he showed me how to get started on the sitar. After that, he'd arranged for Al Raka to come, and they were going to give a concert. So John and Ringo came, and they played for us for an hour and a half. It was really nice. The moment we started, the feelings I got were of his patience, compassion, and humility. The fact that he could do one of his 5-hour concerts, but at the same time, he could sit down and teach somebody from scratch the very basics, how to hold the sitar, how to sit in the correct position, how to wear the pick on your finger, how to begin playing. We did that, and he started me going on the scales, and he enjoyed it. He wasn't grudging at all, and he wasn't flash about it either. One thing he said was, "Do you read music?" I said, "No," and my heart sank. I thought, I probably don't even deserve to waste his time. But he said, "Good, it will only confuse you anyway."